welcome you all. I am Karthik Gupta. Today we are going to discuss a very important topic called percentage. Even though the concept is very simple, but it is very important. Percentage is used in most of the concepts. The concepts such as again percentage, we can use in numbers, we can use in profit and loss, we can use in data interpretation, line graph, pie chart, data table, mixed graph, we can use in ratio proportion, we can use in time and work, we can use in time and distance. In most of the problems, in fractions, we can use percentages. In most of the concepts, we can implement the percentages. So what do you mean by percentage? Why it is required? How to calculate? So why we don't want to use the traditional method to calculate the percentages? If we use traditional method, then how much time it takes? If we use the different concept to calculate the percentages, then how much time it takes? So in both the method, how much time we can save? Okay, so these things we shall learn in the first part. Okay, later on we shall move to the problems. First, you have to understand what do you mean by percentage and how to calculate the percentage, and what are the important points in the percentage that you have to remember always. The methodology, the values, those things always you have to remember, okay, till you clear bank exam, or after the clearing of the bank exam also those values should be in the tip of your tongue. If you know that those values, then definitely you can solve most number of problems in every concept. Okay, see here, percentage. What do you mean by percent? Percent. Cent means 100. Cent means 100. So whatever you do, you have to convert those values to 100. Per 100, how much you are going to get? Let me give you an example. Take two values, 400 by 500, next 500 by 600, next 500 by 600. Between these two fractions, which is the highest one, 400 by 500 or 500 by 600? Few people may tell it is 400 by 500 and few others may tell it is 500 by 600. But which is the greater one? Can you identify? So it is very difficult to say as it is by looking the values. 400 by 500, 500 by 600. The difference between the numerator and the denominator is same. So it is very difficult to say directly, so whether 400 by 500 is greater or 500 by 600 is greater. So to convert these values to per 100, then how much it will be? So it is very easy to calculate. See here, for 500, the person is getting 400. Then per 100, how much you are going to get? See here, per 100 only, no need to convert. You can convert for per 10, per 8, per 50, per 70, you can convert. But per 100 if you convert, it will be very easy to calculate and it is very easy to compare. Okay, so because of that reason we are comparing. So per 100 how much it will be? So you cross multiply 500 into x is equal to 400 into 100. Therefore x is equal to 400 by 500 into 100. So after simplifying, you are going to end up with 80%. After simplifying, you are going to end up with 80%. Okay, let us do the same thing for the another fraction also. For 600, you are scoring 500. Then for 100, how much you are going to score? Then for 100, how much you are going to score? Again you cross multiply, 600 into x is equal to 500 into 100. Next, x is equal to 500 by 600 into 100. So x is equal to, you are going to get 83.33%. You are going to get 83.33 percentage. Now between these two, it is very simple to identify whether 80% is more or 83.33% is more. Here 83.33% is more, means the fraction 500 by 600 is greater. See, after converting to 100 means percentage, it is very easy for us to identify which is the greater one. So converting to 100 is a very important tool. Okay, now how to convert into 100? See, if you want to convert into 100, what we did, we multiplied the fraction by 100. Very simple. No need to do this calculation always. It is not necessary to do the calculation always. See, if you want to calculate into, if you want to convert the same thing into percentage, so you multiply it by 100. You multiply it by 100, so you are going to get the percentage value. So how to convert to the percentage? You people know. Now 300 by 400, what is the percentage into 100? So after solving, you are going to get 75 percentage. Next 600 by 800, you have to convert into percentage into 100. You are going to get, again you are going to get 2 3s are 6, 3 by 4 into 100%. So which is equal to 75 percentage, which is equal to 75 percentage. So if you want to convert the things into percentages, you multiply it by 100. Now the next part is converting the percentage values into fractions. For example, you want to calculate 50% of 500. You have to calculate 50% of 500. So normally how we can calculate? Okay, 50% means 50 by 100 into 500. 50 by 100 into 500. So two zeros get cancelled. You are going to end up with 50 into 5, that is 250. 50 into 5, 250. If you want to convert the things into 25%, 25% of 250. 25% of 250 means what? 25 by 100 into 250. 25 by 100 into 250. So how much you are going to get? So 1 0 get cancels. So 25 into 2.5, so which is equal to 62.5. So you are going to get 62.5. So you have learned two things now, how to convert these things into percentage, and from percentage how to convert to the normal value. If you want to convert into percentage, then you have to multiply by 100. If you want to convert into percentage, then you have to multiply it by 100. If you want to convert from percentage to the fraction or to the value, you have to divide it by 100. So to percentage, convert to percentage. So you have to multiply it by 100. Next, percentage to fraction. You have to divide it by 100. Fraction or the natural numbers or the integers or the whole numbers, whatever it may be, you have to divide it by 100. Now let us take the second one, percentage into fractions. Each and every time to divide it by 100, it takes time and it will be complicated. Let me give you an example. See here, you have to calculate the 18%, or else see here, you have to calculate 18%. 18% of 275 you have to calculate. 275 is a small number, 18% is also a small number, but if you do in this manner, in the traditional manner, 18%, 18 by 100 into 275, then what you do? You have to divide it by 5, later on you have to multiply. If you get a number like this, see here, 18% of 239, then what you do? 18 by 100 into 239. Into 239 you have to do, means this is the traditional method which is not feasible to calculate the values in your exam. It takes too much time. So normally how you can calculate? It is very difficult. 18 into 239 you have to do, divide it by 100. It takes too much time. Instead of that, you can go for a different methodology where you can save lot of time to solve these type of problems. Let us go for those methodologies. For example, see here, 10% of 500 you have to calculate. So how to calculate 10% of 500 in the traditional method? See here, 10%, 10 by 100 into 500. So 1 0 cancels, one more 0 get cancels, you got 50. Means what? It was 500, now it is 50, means from here to here the point is shifted. 500 means 500.0, from here to here the point is shifted. Now you have to calculate 1%. 1% of 500 means what? 1 divided by 100 into 500 you have to solve. You are going to end up with 5 because two zeros get cancelled. Means what? The 500 was the original value. 1% means you are shifting 2 points. Very simple. To calculate 10%, you have to shift a point from right towards left after one digit. If you want to calculate 1%, if you want to shift 2 digits from right side towards the left side to calculate 1%. Let us take one more example. Example is 15%. You have to calculate 15%. So 15% of 500. So how to calculate 15% into 15 by 100? Please don't do that one. Okay, 15% means 10% plus 5%. Very simple. 10% you know how to calculate. Means you in the number 500 you have to shift a point from right towards left. You are going to get 50. Very simple. Plus 5% you have to calculate. So how to calculate 5%? See here. 5% can be calculated like this, 10% by 2 or 1% into 5. 10% by 2 or 1% into 5. It is very easy to calculate 10% by 2, that is 50 by 2, which is equal to 25. So you are going to get 75. So 15% of 500 is 75. Otherwise, the 15% you can do in this manner, 1% into 15. 1% into 15. So 1% is 5. 5 into 15, which is equal to 75. 5 into 15, which is equal to 75. Now, one more example let me take. You want to calculate 12%. 12% of, let me take a bit difficult number, 135. 135. So how to calculate 12%? See here, 12% we can calculate in this manner, 10% plus 2%. So 10% means 13.5. 10% means 13.5. I have to calculate 2%. What do you mean by 2%? 2% means 1% into 2. 2% means 1% into 2 or 1% plus 1%. So that is 1.35 plus 1.35. So altogether how much you are going to get? 2.7. So 13.5 plus 2.7. So altogether how much you are going to get? 7 plus 5, that is 12, 1 carry over 6, 16.2. So 12% means 16.2. Very simple to calculate. So 10% plus 2%. If you want to calculate 17%, if you want to calculate 17%, so 17% of, let us take 385. You want to calculate 17% of 385. Then how we can solve? We have two methodologies. 17% means 10% plus 7% or 20% minus 3%. So whichever is feasible for you people, you convert in that manner. For few times it will be easy to calculate in this manner, 15% plus 2%. So you have to split the percentage values according to your requirement. Sometimes it will be easy to calculate 10% plus 7%. Sometimes it is easy to calculate 20% minus 3%. So you have to decide which one has to be adopted. So based on the practice, you can decide in a short period. And one more thing, the splitting knowledge. So you should learn those things, how to split, how to calculate. So 20% minus 3%. So 20% means how to calculate 20%, 10% into 2. You have to calculate 10% into 2. Next, what is 10%? 10% means 38.5. So into 2. So how much you are going to get? 0.5 into 2, 10. 8 to the 16 plus 1, 17. 1 carry 2 to the 6 plus 1, 77. So 20% is 77 minus 3% you have to calculate. So how to calculate 3%? That is 1% into 3. So 1% means how much? 3.85. 1% means 3.85 into 3 you have to do. So 5 3 is a 15, 1 carry 8 3 is a 24 plus 1 25, 2 carry over 3 3 is a 9, 10 11. So 11.55, 11.55 you got. So now you subtract. 10 minus 5 5, 9 minus 5 4, 6 minus 1 5, 7 minus 1 6. So you got 65.45. You got 65.45. See, very simple to calculate. After the decimal point also you are going to get the exact values. After the decimal point also you are going to get the exact values. So now you have learned how to split the given percentage values and how to calculate the values.